Many of you asked for an update on Mark's clear cutting project. So here we are. It is Saturday morning. He worked on this Thursday and Friday all day, and it was quite the task. He was very busy with it. And as I told you in last week's video, he'd never ran this equipment before, so it took him a little time to adjust just to running the piece of machinery. But here it is, and we could not be more delighted. We are so happy to have this open space. And it was similar to this, like I said, when we bought it 7 years ago. Now, clear cutting is something new for Mark and I. Now, coming from the Midwest, obviously, we are very familiar with farming. However, here in New Hampshire, they quote unquote farm trees. And our neighbor actually educated us on how all of that works. And you can get companies that will come in, do this for you, and actually pay you for the trees or the wood that they take and they use for future projects, or maybe they sell it off. Of course, they're looking for certain kinds of wood, certain sizes of trees, and maybe that's something we would consider in the future, but you would really have to let it go for quite a while. But that is what happened to this property prior to us buying it. And when we first looked at the house, my first thought in seeing all of this clear cutting done behind the house was, oh, there must be a subdivision coming in. Well, they educated me and I learned differently. So now I know and I certainly understand why it's done. So as you can see, Mark and I have our work cut out for us here. Our nephew is here this weekend. I think I told you that in last week's video, and we're having a lot of fun showing him around New Hampshire. But next weekend is a different story. We are going to be pulling out the chainsaws, pulling out our gator. We still have some trees, dead trees, that we want to hopefully cut down / pull down with the gator. And then we will be cutting everything up, cleaning everything up, putting it in a pile for a big bonfire once we have snow on the ground. That is the other thing here. You cannot burn. Obviously, we live in the middle of the woods. You cannot burn unless there is snow on the ground. So we plan on doing that also. So wish us luck. Like I said, we will be busy, and I'm sure as you're watching this video, we will be right here working very hard. Hi friends, and welcome to windy New Hampshire. It is, as you can see, a little overcast today. No rain, unfortunately, but it is rather breezy. Now, when many of us think of New England, what do we think of? I know I think of quaint little towns with beautiful homes, covered bridges, white steeple churches, and of course, general stores. General stores are scattered all throughout New England. I've been to many, and I will say every one I've gone to is different and unique in its own way. And today I wanted to share a couple more with you. I have shared several with you throughout my years here on YouTube. And today I'm taking you to two more. One is going to be in Harrisville, New Hampshire, and that is actually where I am today. It is such a quaint little town. It pretty much checks all the boxes. And I think of the two general stores, this is the one that many of you will be familiar with. It has even made it into Yankee Magazine. I am going to be taking you to one in Hooksett, New Hampshire. Now that one has sold and been repurchased since we have lived here. And I have to say I was a little nervous when it went up for sale, because I always worry, will the new owners keep the uniqueness that each of these general stores has? I don't want it turned into a convenience store. We have enough of those. And I'm happy to say that the new owners did just that. And I'm going to share that with you. As I said, each of these stores is special in their own way. We will typically find a little luncheon counter where they will serve breakfast and lunches. And a lot of what they make are from ingredients that come locally to their area. You will also find, of course, store items. It is a general store. You will find maybe some handmade craft items, everything from hand knit hats to candles. Some are small, some are very large, and I've shown you some of the larger ones before. The two that I'm sharing today are just cute and quaint, and I love them both. And I have to say that going into all of these general stores, sometimes that is where I find items that I want to carry in my own store, if I can get my hands on them so I can share them with you. I also get a lot of ideas from cute little home decor boutiques that are scattered all throughout New England. I have so many choices with that. And I'm always looking for items that I love and I can share with you. I have added some things to my store. Some of them are Christmas items. I know it's early, but I will say I've had people buying Christmas from me already. But I wanted just to hop on and say hello and give you a little introduction as to what I'm doing today. And so for now, let's go walk down by the lake. I'm going to show you that. Again, we are in Harrisville, New Hampshire today. And then I'm going to hop back in my car and we're going to take a drive around town. So let's get started with the video.